Hey everybody, I'm FootballDiehards Senior Editor Bob Harris. It's time for the Week 8 injury preview, review, update, and overviews. I think we like to do every Saturday. For those of you just catching up or getting ready to set lineups and you haven't been paying attention all week, consider this the starting point. I'll give you this week's pertinent injuries, do them chronologically, to give you an understanding of possible fallback options you'll need to have in place based on kickoff time. As always, I will remind you, I record this in the early afternoon. Today it's about 1:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Things will change after I'm done recording this, sometimes like right after I'm done. So once you've watched this video, hit the late breaking news section of the site for any possible updates, or maybe better still, hit the FSP staff cheat sheet. It's kind of a one-stop shop. It'll link to all the latest information for every player in one location. Check the rankings. If a player you're counting on is ranked way out of line from where you expect him to be, click on the link and it'll tell you more about that. And also if some players have risen up that you didn't expect to see ranked so highly, that might indicate further that other changes are going on. So with that out of the way, let's get into the thick of this week's games. There's no teams on bye, so we've got lots of fallback options in place and a good balance of morning, early afternoon kickoffs, late afternoon kickoffs, etc. So we'll start with the Jaguars and the Steelers. Trevor Lawrence is listed as questionable with the same knee injury he was questionable with but played through last week and played pretty well. Had a nice long TD run, I want to say 40 yards or so. So it seems like he'll be good to go. Zay Jones will miss another game. There's people who will tell you Zay Jones is maybe the missing piece to this offense, maybe been a limiting factor for Calvin Ridley. Is Jones clearing out coverages, etc. So he will miss at least another game. They have a bye next week, so won't see him until week 10 at least. The Eagles are at the Commanders. Everyone's good to go for Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts never on the injury report. I know the issues about the knee were apparent last week. He put a brace on, but nothing serious enough for him to miss any practice time or even be on the injury report. Curtis Samuel, on the other hand, for Washington, is listed as questionable with a foot issue. He did hit the practice field as the week went on, so seems like he's trending in a good direction. He's been very productive, right? So this is a favorable passing matchup. The Philadelphia run defense is great. Passing defense, not so much. Rams and the Cowboys, everyone's good to go. No major injuries of note that we need to worry about. So some more Tyron Smith, I think, on the offensive line for the Cowboys. Developed finishing in the week, but not sure if he will cause him to miss the game or not. So, but all the skill players will be on hand in this one. Texans at the Panthers. Love this matchup for the Texans offense. Robert Woods will not be part of it. He's been ruled out with a foot injury. Tank Dell is back from a concussion, though. Super favorable matchup for all those pieces. On the other side of the ball, for the Panthers, we have Miles Sanders back in the mix. Laviska Shenault's been ruled out. I hope nobody is counting on him for any production. But Miles Sanders will split with Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard's earned a role, they say, going forward. We just don't know how robust it will be. The Falcons at the Titans. What a mess. Ryan Tannehill's out. It's been widely reported that rookie Will Levis will get the start, but Mike Vrabel has made no secret of his desire to play both Will Levis and Malik Willis at quarterback, the second-year man. So that'll be something we'll need to watch for. And a lot of talk that the Titans are going to be in trade mode. So DeAndre Hopkins been mentioned, Derrick Henry as possible trade pieces. So that'll be something to watch for. The trade deadline is next Tuesday, October 31st, 4 p.m. Eastern time. But for now, all the Falcons should be in place. That includes Bijan Robinson, who did not play. He was active. We had no inkling before the game that there were any issues. He had an illness developed Saturday night. I'm pretty sure the local media will be way more assertive in checking on his status going into this game, but not on the injury report, and all indications are he's fine. Vikings at the Packers. Luke Musgrave listed as questionable with an ankle injury. Seemed unlikely to play early in the week. That improved. His outlook improved as the week went on. Aaron Jones came off the injury report, but Matt LaFleur basically said, he's not on the injury report, but he's clearly not 100%. And if you've watched the Packers play, you know that. But he will be available and playing. Everyone in the Vikings is good to go, or at least everyone we're counting on. TJ Hawkins had a minor foot issue. He was limited early in the week off the injury report as the week ended up. So good news there. Patriots are at the Dolphins in Miami. Raheem Mostert listed as questionable. Seems like a minor issue for him and that he will play, but it's something you'll want to watch. Jeff Wilson Jr. should get more work this week. Salvon Ahmed also in the mix. Tyreek Hill opened the week on the injury report, caused a lot of excitement. By the end of the week, he was off the injury report. Closing in, could get the 1,000-yard mark halfway through the season. He's closing in on that, so we'll see what happens. And you'll want to watch Mostert's status. Jeff Wilson again. Mike McDaniels discussed the desire to get him more involved in the offense either way. So we'll see. Alec Engel, the Fullback is also listed as questionable in that one. Saints are at the Colts. Zach Moss listed as questionable, has elbow and heel injuries. He practiced. He was held out on Wednesday, limited on Thursday, then held out again Friday. So weird week for him. That'll be something to watch. Maybe Jonathan Taylor gets full workload this week. Tough matchup against the Saints either way. Kylan Granson, the tight end, has been ruled out. On the other side of the ball, Taysom Hill's questionable with a chest injury. He practiced this week with the red no contact jersey on. He's been really busy. How much of that busyness has had to do with Juwan Johnson being ruled out? Maybe some. Johnson is back. He's off the injury report, so that'll be something to watch, how Taysom Hill is used, assuming he's active. They're working on the offense this week. They know they have some issues. Derek Carr hoping to mask his frustration at his teammates a little better. And this one, we'll see if that plays out. Jets are at the Giants. There will be no Daniel Jones. He's been ruled out again this week. Asked if Jones is in danger of missing the rest of the season. Brian Dable would not, said he couldn't predict the future. So this is kind of a change. They've been saying he's close to coming back. He's been practicing on a limited basis. That limitation remains. No contact. That's a big limitation. So Tyrod Taylor will make his third straight start. Darren Waller listed as questionable with a hamstring. Expect him to play, but you want to watch this. If he does play, the Jets defense is tough. It's not tough against tight ends. Not so much. They've given up the most touchdowns to the position, so that's something to watch. The other side of the ball, Randall Cobb listed as questionable with a shoulder injury. Both the starting cornerbacks who missed last week's game with a concussion, Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed, are both back in the mix. Late afternoon window. Here's a surprising one to me. Brock Purdy, placed in the concussion protocol, developed symptoms on the flight home from Minnesota after their loss to the Vikings. And he's worked his way through the protocol. He's gone 4 of the 5 steps. He could be cleared by the time you're watching this. Check the updates. That's the expectation in San Francisco. He's listed as questionable. Sam Darnold will play if Brock Purdy can't go, but the expectation is he will be cleared at some point Saturday. So watch for that. I'm sure we'll get the information prior to Sunday, or at least prior to kickoff, late afternoon kickoff on that one. Deebo Samuel's ruled out of that game. On the other side of the ball, everyone's good to go except the rookie running back Chad Brown, who has been placed on IR with a hamstring injury. The Browns are at the Seahawks. No Deshaun Watson again. The shoulder remains an issue. PJ Walker will continue to start in his place. Jerome Ford listed as questionable, which is a bit of a surprise. Initial reporting said he would miss 1 to 2 weeks. I don't know that he's going to play this week. Kevin Stefanski does not sound very optimistic. He did get on the field. Adam Schefter reported the team was surprised at how well he ran on Thursday. But Kevin Stefanski stressed that he was limited, and he was limited again Friday. So he didn't sound overly optimistic. They elevated Jordan Wilkins from the practice squad earlier today, Saturday. Maybe a tell. Kareem Hunt off the injury report. Pierre Strong Jr. also available there. David Njoku also off the injury report. For the Seahawks, a little scared. Kenneth Walker didn't practice for the first couple days this week. He is off the injury report after practicing fully Friday. DK Metcalf is set to return with dealing with rib and hip injuries. Tyler Lockett, though, remains questionable and a little uncertain. He's dealing with a hamstring issue. That'll be one to watch. Maybe have a fallback plan in place for that. The Ravens are at the Cardinals. Kyler Murray, officially listed as doubtful, remains on the PUP list. We'll see if they change that today. I don't think they will. More likely outcome is he plays either next week against Cleveland, or they have one more week and get him to Atlanta in week 10. So it's not a matter of if he returns at this point, it seems, when he practiced fully all this week. The only reason he has the injury designation is they would have to remove him from the PUP if he practiced fully yet did not play. So it did not get an injury designation. So there's that. Zach Ertz placed on IR, in case you missed that, early this week with a quad injury. So Trey McBride, second-year man, has been playing well. He'll get the primary role at tight end. On the other side of the ball, everyone's good to go. Keaton Mitchell listed as questionable. Not a primary piece, but a piece I'm interested in is maybe a speculative play down the stretch run. He is questionable with a hamstring injury. I'm not overly optimistic about his availability. Chiefs and Broncos, everyone's good injury-wise. For the Chiefs, Justin Ross was arrested earlier this week and placed on the commissioner's exempt list. So he will not be playing. Justin Watson will be playing. He's off the injury report this week. Everyone else is off the injury report. Had some issues with illnesses for Harrison Butker. He's good to go. Jerick McKinnon, he's good to go. So all good. Sunday night game, Justin Fields ruled out again with the thumb injury. So not a huge surprise there. Tyson Bagent will continue to start against the Chargers. Roshan Johnson is off the injury report, cleared from the concussion protocol. He'll return, work into the mix along with Deontay Foreman, undoubtedly. So there you have that. On the other side of the ball, Josh Palmer listed as questionable. Seems really dicey to me. Gerald Everett also questionable. Seems more optimistic. He worked fully on Friday, so we'll watch that one. But Palmer is definitely uncertain. You want to have a fallback plan in place. Maybe Quentin Johnston is available in leagues you're in, or somebody in the Monday night game, or somebody on the other side. Maybe Darnell Mooney, even Tyler Scott. Somebody have a fallback plan in place if you want to roll out Palmer. Maybe go earlier with a safer option would be the right answer. Monday night's game, David Montgomery seems unlikely to play. We don't have the final injury report yet, but we're expecting it any time now. And on the other side of the ball, Jimmy Garoppolo will start, and we'll see how that plays out. Daniel Carlson, the kicker, is uncertain. Let's see. Just coming in right now, Brock Purdy has cleared the concussion protocol and has no injury designation. So there we have some late breaking news for you as this closed out. Brock Purdy for San Francisco is cleared and set to play. They've removed the questionable designation from him. So there we have it. By the way, Daniel Carlson, if I didn't finish that thought, is definitely uncertain. The kicker for the Raiders, they have a backup plan in place. So you might want to pivot away from him early. There you have it. There's week 8. You're all set. We'll see you for week 9 next week. Thanks, everybody.